Hey everyone, this is Dirt Merchant LC, and today I'm excited to announce the kickoff of my new series, To Kill a Mocking Bubble. This is designed for people who either want to learn how to take out a defender in his Ward of Dawn in the most effective means, or if you want to learn how to be a defender and mock people while you sit in your bubble, this video will be for you. This is going to be my main table of contents, and this is going to go over my class setup and also some of my PvP stats. If you would like to jump straight into the nitty-gritty of this, please click on one of the links that correspond to your following class. Also, one more important thing I'd like to share with you guys. This is a diagram I'm going to be referring to very frequently in my series. This is what I like to call the circle of life. Pretty much, it is a basic example of where you should or should not be standing as a defender, or on the flip side, it will illustrate as an attacker where you might anticipate the defender will try to stand in order to counter you. For normal situations, you are going to be, as a defender, mainly standing near the edge of your bubble. That is the safest spot to be, and try to avoid standing directly in the center. This diagram will change, and each spot and the ideal place to stand will vary depending on which super you're dealing with, but I figured I'd let you guys know about this now in the beginning, so that way you can further understand this example later on. So let's dive into my skill tree and what I personally recommend for a class setup. One of the most important things to use is a suppressor grenade, because that shuts off hostile guardians that are using their super ability. Next, I use increased control, so that way I can titan skate and move around the map a lot faster. Using catapult also works, but I personally prefer increased control. After that, we're going to be using armor of light. This is a must-have because that makes you very, very, very difficult to kill, and it is a difference between life and death. After that, you have the choice of running either War Machine or Unbreakable. I personally run Unbreakable because I like the recharge feature on the shield you get more than the weapon reload speed. Moving on to our codexes, we're going to be running Codex 1 and Codex 4. This allows us to be maxed out on armor, which lets us survive trip mines as long as they don't stick us with them. And also, this gives us the most recovery as possible once our armor is maxed. And on top of that, our agility is all the way down. And when your agility is all the way down, this actually allows you to titan skate faster because you're not jumping as high on your initial jump. Also, we're going to be running Gift of the Void because it is not uncommon for people to shoot your bubble or try to pop it with a super ability. And when your bubble goes down, it is very nice to have your teammates virtually instantaneously supered from that to seek revenge for you and get the guy back. And we're also going to be running Untouchable. This gives you extra cooldown on your Ward of Dawn. It's a pretty fair amount, it's between 20 and 30 seconds. And also it gives you a little bit of extra armor when you use this ability. So let's take a quick glimpse at what I'm running for gear. For my chest plate, I'm running the Crest of Alpha Lupi, and there are 3 reasons for this. Number 1 is because it drops an extra orb of light every time I deploy my bubble. Number 2, I can revive allies faster in those game modes. And number 3, this particular role has extra armor while wielding a void-based subclass. This allows me to survive a shoulder charge. Another thing worth mentioning is that all my gear has maxed intellect and discipline on it. Intellect lets you get your super faster, and also each orb of light you drop gives your allies extra energy, and discipline gives your grenades a really fast recharge rate so you can suppress people and save your bubble. For my weapons, my primary is an Imago Loop, and I have Rangefinder, Hammerforged, and Firefly on it. I would say this is a very good role to have, and I'm very fortunate. For my secondary, I use Invective mainly because of the high DPS and the regen ammo factor on it, and it is also very great for when people try to gang you inside your bubble. If you do not want to use the exotic slot on this shotgun, a Conspiracy Theory or a Fellwinter's Lie, also with the Up Close and Personal perk on it, is very useful. With Up Close and Personal, you can actually one-shot and then one melee a Sunbreaker, even before they nerfed their armor. For heavy, where light level matters, I typically use an Unseeing Eye because it is very similar to Thunderlord and I don't want to use the exotic slot. And where light level doesn't matter, I use my Against All Odds because this is my favorite machine gun and it has ridiculous range. It has Linear Compensator, Hammerforged, and Rangefinder on it. And for when I'm messing around in Mayhem, I love to use a Raise Lighter because it is so much fun to count how many people are willing to challenge me while I'm holding a very large sword inside a bubble with a blue line above my head. And it is really fun to mess around with. So this concludes the information for my class setup. I strongly encourage that you watch the rest of this series so you can learn how to defend against every single super in the game with the Ward of Dawn. Also, this will teach you how to attack a Ward of Dawn with every single super in the game. I'll see you out there.